murder probe is currently underway into the death of Melissa Silvera, who is the wife of former People's National Party MP Jolyan Silvera. The police have launched an investigation after reports initially suggested that Mrs. Silvera had died in her sleep on the 10th of November. It was upgraded after the post-mortem examination revealed that she was shot at least 3 times. The Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime and security, Fitz Bailey, has confirmed that the death has been upgraded to a homicide. It is understood that Mr. Silvera, the former MP of Weston St. Mary, has retained the services of a King's counsel. It is also understood that Mr. Silvera has been interviewed by scene of crime investigators. The original investigators are also under scrutiny as to how they conducted their initial preliminary investigation. Interestingly, the attorney for Jolyan Silvera has stated that his client is not being treated as a suspect in his wife's murder probe. King's counsel Peter Champagny says his client, former member of the Parliament for Weston St. Mary, Jolyan Silvera, is not being treated as a suspect in the police's murder probe into his wife's death. In a statement on Saturday afternoon, KC Champagny says Mr. Silvera has been cooperating with the police's probe into his wife's death. Meanwhile, King's Counsel Champagny is appealing to people on social media who he says may want to go beyond the boundaries of fact. He is calling for sensitivity in the matter, particularly as they relate to the young children of the family. The King's Counsel says the police investigation must be allowed to proceed without any prejudice to anyone. Now, I'm sure everyone remembers when these two actually tied the knot back in December 2015. At that wedding, there were many high-profile politicians, which included Lisa Hanna and P.J. Patterson. The newlyweds shared the spotlight with both the mother of the bride, Lesline Davis, who has now passed on, and the mother of the groom, Cynthia Silvera. A truly uptown affair. Everyone thought this was the culmination of a love meant to last. Now, according to the initial reports, it was indicated that Melissa Silvera had peacefully passed away in her sleep, that there were details surrounding her sudden demise that were still emerging. However, sources had suggested that she experienced a serene departure during the night. Now, Jolyan Silvera was a distinguished figure in Jamaican politics and a former member of Parliament. He served as the chairman of the Founders Group. He was a notable member of the People's National Party. However, his roots trace back to the picturesque Pembrokeshire Valley in Weston St. Mary, a region once renowned as the heart of the banana industry, often referred to as the Green Gold. Growing up in this vibrant valley, Jolyan Silvera witnessed the heyday of the banana industry, which was considered the economic backbone of the region. Jolyan's family home stood as one of the 3 largest banana plantations in the Pembrokeshire Valley, symbolizing the prominence of this crop in their lives. He attests to the fact that it was the success of the banana plantation that afforded him a first-class education and a fulfilling childhood. Now, it is evident that 3 bullet fragments were found inside the body of Melissa Silvera. The fragments were reportedly found during a recent post-mortem examination. The surprise twist comes nearly a month after initial reports claimed that Melissa, the late wife of the former People's National Party aligned St. Mary Weston Member of Parliament, passed away suddenly in her sleep on November 10th. Deputy Police Commissioner Fitz Bailey declined to comment on the latest development when contacted by the Gleaner, but confirmed that Melissa's death is now under probe. It has been upgraded to a murder investigation, said Bailey, head of the Criminal Investigation Branch of the police force. According to one law enforcement source, the post-mortem examination confirmed that Melissa died from multiple gunshot wounds. My question is, however, in the initial investigation that took place, how is it that there was no evidence of the fact that she was shot and killed? Who tidied up the crime scene and made it appear as though she had passed in her sleep? How is it that these gunshots were initially missed? There seems to be a lot of tragedy surrounding Jolyan Silvera. If you remember, back in August 2017, several persons, including the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, had taken to social media to express their sympathies to this former PNP Member of Parliament after the tragic death of his son. Justin Silvera, who was 2 years old, had reportedly drowned in a pool at his Stony Hill, St. Andrew home sometime before midday on the 30th of August of 2017. According to reports, Mr. Silvera was home with his son and after some time noticed that the child was missing. The child was reportedly found lying face down in the pool. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced deceased. A member told the news that the entire family is still trying to come to grips with the sudden loss of the toddler. After the passing of Melissa and Jolyan's son, one may wonder what kind of post-traumatic stresses took place within that household, especially given the fact that the toddler was in the care of Jolyan Silvera at the time of his passing. Although the attorney for Jolyan Silvera has claimed that his client is not being treated as a suspect and is calling for sensitivity in the matter, particularly as they relate to the young children of the family, one may question the King's Counsel Champagny as to why it is that this is the case. He is appealing to people on social media who he says may want to go beyond the boundaries of fact. Now, in our experience, when it comes to the death of a wife, it should be paramount that the first line of investigation should begin with the spouse. The court of public opinion is going to look at this very suspiciously. Why is it that Champagny is informing the public that his client should not be considered a suspect and that the police are avoiding looking at his client for the probing of this murder? Something does not add up. Where was Jolyan Silvera when his wife passed away? Where was Jolyan Silvera when they made that phone call to find out what happened to his wife? Where was Jolyan Silvera when the investigations initially took place and it was confirmed at the time that she died peacefully in her sleep? How is it that 3 spent shells that were found in this woman's body was unnoticeable on the surface? Who cleaned up the crime scene so that there was no evidence of the fact that there was a killing by gunshot? Something isn't right. One thing is for certain, all of Upper St. Andrew is in upheaval as this case unfolds before our eyes.